Morning, hi, this is Travis from National Weather Service, and this is your weather hazard briefing for Sunday, February 23rd. We are going to actually be quite nice and for most of the day, and then you'll start to see some clouds move in. We'll be near normal temperatures today. We'll be warming up slightly over yesterday, but it all ends fairly quickly, late afternoon into early evening, as we have a strong cold front passage move through us. It'll start at the Central Mountains around 5-6 o'clock and then move through the rest of the area by overnight into Monday morning. We're going to look at snow levels about 5,000 feet. So we'll have some rain, snow in the eastern Magic Valley, lower Snake Plain, Southern Highlands, and then it turn to snow behind the cold front. The temperatures drop pretty quickly, but there'll be a little precip lift at that point. We are going to have quite strong winds associated with this frontal boundary. We do have a wind advisory out with a frontal passage. I'll show you the amounts here in a minute. Overall, the snow amounts will be light. It will be mostly in the mountains, 1 to 3 inches. Focus on the same kind of places in the west-northwest flow, the northern central mountains, Island Park area, Eastern Highlands, and Southeast Highlands. And then we'll have a high pressure build in Monday behind that into Tuesday, drying things out, clearing it up, and being dry and cooler than normal again. So here is what we're looking at. We have kind of weak high pressure over us now. We're going to be, like I said, quite nice to early in the day, and then we'll start to have clouds move in. You start to see some starting to move over the central mountains now. We have a low well south of our area here that's going to move off and not impact us. This is the low that's going to impact us with the associated cold front with it, and that again will move over us fairly quickly, mainly in the evening, early evening, till after midnight across our eastern edges. So again, the bigger impacts for the Magic Valley is going to be just wind. Not looking, may have just a little bit of rain, not looking for a lot of precip. And our southern hills will look at strong winds, particularly downslope areas along that I-84 corridor. Idaho is going to be a concern, and then just a little bit of snow for the passes. But as far as the Southeast Highlands, Eastern Highlands, and Sawtooth, those are the ones that are going to get our most snow. Generally in that 1 to 3 inches. Could get some a little bit slightly higher, 4 to 5 inches, particularly the western slopes of the Sawtooths and also near Island Park on the eastern slopes. And then early in the morning, you can see that just takes a little bit to linger. It lingers a little bit before it moves out. So we'll just have a little bit of impact there for the lingering snow and wind in the morning, and then we'll have some wind also in the afternoon on Monday before it starts to calm down late afternoon into Tuesday. So here's our high temperatures for today, right at normal, maybe a degree or two, particularly of our western areas. You can see most of the areas are warm up over what we saw yesterday. The bigger impacts with this system is going to be the winds. Those areas in red are kind of the wind advisory levels, hitting 40, maybe gusting a little bit higher. So as a result, I'll show you, we do have a wind advisory out for those areas that are the stronger winds. And that's mainly with a cold frontal passage. This is going to be kind of more of a 7 to 9 p.m. The strongest winds up here, and then it'll be a little bit later down lower, maybe in the 9 till 1 or 2 in the morning for these areas in our southern areas. So just this is I'll just run you through the frontal passage moving through. You can see about 5 p.m. it starts to hit our area just north of Stanley, and by 6 p.m. These areas in green are kind of the warmer areas, 4,500, 5,000 in the snow levels initially, and then behind it you can see it turns very quickly with the cold air, where it all is kind of more snow behind it, and then you can see given that rain, snow. We are going to be a little bit convective as this goes through, so there's a chance of thunderstorms, just a very slight chance, particularly up here. It will, with the convective nature as this goes through, it will mean that we'll have a little bit higher snow rates, a little bit lower visibilities, and again we'll have some blowing snow as that goes through as well. You can see by 8 p.m. it's starting to approach Pocatello and Blackfoot, with just getting that rain where these levels are around 4,500 feet, and you start to see right in here is where that cold air starts to make its way in. And then by 9 p.m. it's through most of our bigger cities, and then still approaching our more eastern areas. 10 p.m. onward, you can see it kind of, it's going to be around past midnight when it finally moves through the area. As far as our snow amounts, these are going to be the higher amounts here, 1 to 2 inches for the northern near Stanley, but you can see there are some localized at the western slopes of the Sawtooth that could get into that 4 or 5 range, maybe 6. And then you can see in General Island Park, the Eastern Highlands and Southeast Highlands will all see about 1 to 2, but there will be localized 3 to 4 inches on the extreme eastern edges. And then here's our low temperatures for Monday morning and high temperatures for Monday as well. And you can see just below normal, but just slightly above freezing in some areas here. And then our wind gusts for Monday as well will be a little bit breezy in the afternoon, approaching the wind advisory, but not quite. But that will taper off by mid-afternoon pretty quickly as that high pressure builds in. Though it will remain breezy into the evening. And here's your low temperatures. You can see the negatives here in the mornings as far as Tuesday morning, and then teens elsewhere, the mountains near negative. And high temperatures on Tuesday, you can see still below normal. And then Wednesday morning we start to moderate a little bit, but not much. We're still quite cool. I will say by Wednesday there is a system moving through the northwest flow. It's going to be very weak. We'll start to bring some cloud cover, particularly later Wednesday, and there's a very light chance, particularly in the Island Park area, for some snow. We'll get you the better amounts in the next day or two here. So just to recap, it's going to be nice temperatures and clear, at least initially, particularly for our southern areas, and then just start to gradually become more cloudy as this cold front approaches us. That's going to hit us mainly 5 p.m. to midnight, and be a rain, snow, wind, and we'll have wind advisories out again, as I mentioned, mainly for those Lost River Range and Beaverhead, and then the snow amounts will be in that 1 to 3 range with some localized heavier amounts, and then we do clear out by mid-morning to early afternoon on Monday with the high pressure building in and cold northerly air kind of coming in, and will be a little bit cooler. So that concludes the brief. If you have any questions, give us a call to this number. Thank you.